You ever have one of those days where the stock is just trading so perfectly with the rules of technical analysis that you start to feel like a bit of a wizard? Today on PLTR, it was magical. I was watching things happen. Things were hitting supports, resistances to a penny, perfect double bottoms, 2-minute higher lows, flags with perfect extensions. It was beautiful. And in Shark Guys, we were chatting about how amazing it was for the most of the day, at the same time benefiting from the setups that the technical analysis wizards or spirits or what have you were giving us. So I want to talk a little bit today about PLTR, some of the things we were watching in the Chart Guys community, and some of the things we were remarking on. So let's look at the 2-minute time frame. I'm going to switch back and forth between time frames as needed, and let's start on the 2-minute. So we always watch the 2-minute time frame to start the day. We can see PLTR immediately got a 2-minute oversold bounce. Didn't get a lot of legs though. Rejected in the area of our EMA at 1226 and started to get a lower low. Once we lost the initial low, we start to get into that trend feeling. We hit our high, lower low, lower high, lower low, confirmed 2-minute trend change. And then we get into that point where we are able to start drawing ourselves little trend lines. And I do this early on in the day. I grab the top of my green candlesticks. I drag my friend down here for the parallel channel. Happens to work out pretty well. When we get over to 2850, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the action. We're seeing a declining volume. We're starting to grind against our point of resistance. And then I get really interested when we stop losing low of day. So 2725 was basically the line in the sand. We could very easily lose that, and that would be just fine. We just keep playing short, 1226 if you wanted to assume that risk. But you know what? We got a 2730. We have a 2730 higher low, a 2-minute higher low, holding low of day, so a nice little 5-cent bottom fish. Our 2-minute time frame is grinding that area of resistance, a little uptick in volume. Finally, we get over top of that level and we start breaking toward 2850. Now, when we're breaking toward 2850, we know we need to get a higher high over that for a trend change. The alternative is we get a higher low, then a higher high. And that is what happened here on PLTR. We have our lower high, our higher low, our higher high, and now we come down ever so quietly and establish ourselves a 2-minute higher low. Get a bull break, and then we see a little bit of a move up to 29.48. Now, where this gets interesting is that we had ourselves a hidden little bull flag. Now, if you're looking at the 2-minute time frame, you're going to be wondering perhaps where that bull flag is. All we got to do is go and grab the low to our flagpole. We have our 2-minute initial consolidation. So we have, what is our high? 4.4% for our initial run, which seems pretty crazy when you think about it. Then we can go and grab the phase 3 move, which would be, let's adjust to the last point, 4.84%. So very, very close. And when you have a flag, you're looking for 3 phases. Phase 1 is the breakout, phase 2 is the consolidation, phase 3 is the follow through, and in theory, phase 2 occurs at the 50% point in that entire run. So this works out very, very well from a technical analysis perspective. Now, when we saw that run, everything was looking good. I was remarking on how beautiful the charts were, how effective things were looking, and then I see Dan post, well, we're just looking for a 15-minute lower high, and I'm looking at all these setups, and I say, you know what? We've had a lot of moves. We've confirmed our trend. We still need to set that 15-minute lower high. Otherwise, it's going to occur at some point. I don't see the bulls going all the way up to 31.24. We need to come down and try to get a 50-minute higher low, a 5-minute higher low, something beyond the 2-minute range that we're playing in. Because when we had the whole day to work through, we do need to take into account the larger time frames, and that was a perfect point to do it. So 29.48, looking for that lower high. I believe it was quite close to our 15-minute resistances from our EMA perspectives. So just over top of our EMA 12, EMA 26, and finally we could close in a doji and start heading back down. So perfect 2-minute or 2-minute trend change on a 15-minute lower high in the area of 29.48. So at this point on the 2-minute time frame, we have sort of played out our moves. And what we're doing now is waiting for some consolidation and some price discovery to give us a new pattern to work with. So we see 29.48 as our high. We come down, we set 28.15, and we get a nice little bounce to follow through on that. And then we get a lower high at 29.34. Now when all of this action starts combining and squeezing, we start to look to the right, and we start to look for equilibriums, and we start to look for inside bars. So all of this action in here between 29.48 and our lovely little friend down here at 28.15 starts to get this range of this inside bar, this first number 1 that we are looking at. And in fact, we can go adjust that, get our actual inside bar levels, 29.39, and we got 28.15 here. We're focused primarily on this. Remember, we're watching this in real time. None of this other stuff has happened yet. Now what we do is we go back to our 2-minute time frame and we say, all right, we have ourselves a 15-minute inside bar. We're hanging out right in the middle. Let's wait to see what happens. We need to get one of those inside bar bull breaks, or we need to see a new pattern that will develop and will give us some insight into what's happening. When you're in an inside bar on any time frame, you're going to chop around a little bit. You're going to look for those tightening ranges, and it's those breaks that you want to play that are going to give you the most effective outcome. So we're watching the 15, then we see another 15, and then we get another 15-minute inside bar. So all of these things are combining together to represent a relatively lackluster 45 minutes or so of trading. Now, we're still watching the inside bars, and we're looking for bear breaks or bull breaks, and we're not really too concerned about which direction. We're going to be able to benefit from both of them. But we get an inside bar range of 29.28 and 28.72. So we go back to our 2-minute time frame, and it's a relatively contained range, all inside this range, right? Now, as soon as we lose the inside bar level, we start to see the bears come into play and driving the price down. Now, the question is, how far are they going to go? If we go back to our 15-minute inside bar setup, so this chart over here, what we're looking for the bears to do is to knock out as many supports as they possibly can. If we are bullish on this stock, what we're looking for and what the bears want to do is to trigger as many stop losses that they're capable of triggering in order to collect all of those cheap shares, with the expectation that they have the drive to push the price back to the upside. They're going to buy everything they can down here and sell it up here. That's the name of the game, right? So we look at our inside bar setups. We have 1, 2, 3 inside bars. We finally break bearish. We dawdle around a little bit. And then we see the stops starting to get knocked out. Our first flush took out our inside bar stops here and then here. Then this one pushed down and knocked out these two as well. This one a little bit far. It'd be hard for the bears to get there. They did as much as they could in the 15-minute time frame, bounced up the area of our EMA 12, or EMA 26 on the 15, but they knocked out all these supports. So at that point, you're saying, congratulations, bears. You got good follow through on your inside bars. Now we need to see what's going to happen in the other direction. So we're starting to look for a bounce. And this bounce was mentioned as a potential right in the chat room. Said this is exactly why I posted. We knocked out these supports. We're going to be looking for something to change because we know that the bears have accomplished their goal. They're unlikely to accomplish this goal in this push. So let's see what rest and recuperation they're going to need to continue on with their day. So we go to the 15, we get another 15-minute inside bar, and then another 15-minute inside bar, and then finally we get a bull break to the upside again. Another beautiful play on the inside 15. Now if we go to the hourly time frame, this starts to shape up into an hourly play as well, with these hourly inside bars coming into play. The issue now is, and it's kind of a unique situation, it does crop up in inside bar setups. On the 15-minute time frame, this is relatively boring sideways action. It doesn't do a heck of a lot for us. Let's go right back to the 15. That's what we need. It doesn't do a heck of a lot for us, right? We've explained why we dropped. We explained why we've gone to the upside. But if we go to the hourly time frame, we can see that most of this action gets contained inside these hourly bars. So let's go and big in this one. We've seen our drop. We've seen our bounce. We've seen our consolidation. Now this hidden behind this inside bar setup, let's go and erase that. That's a green bar. So we knocked out our supports, and now the bulls have pushed to the upside inside this hourly 15, which is going to require a lot of energy. Now going back to what we had just talked about the inside bar bear breaks, trying to stop out all of those lows as targets, the bulls are going to be doing the same thing. Their target in this case is going to be the high of 29.28. The problem with that as a target, in addition to, I should mention, 29.48 would be very optimistic. Why we are unlikely to get that to happen was the fact that this inside 15 broke bull. It required a lot of effort on the part of the bulls to get all the way up into that area of price action. So let's go back to our 15-minute time frame over here. We're going to check our RSIs on the 5-minute time frame, getting close to overbought, not quite, but if we're watching the 2-minute time frame, absolutely overbought. Almost an EQ. We get 2-minute higher lows, higher highs, lower high, lower low, failed, and then we see that dump. So this is called a reversal for watching our inside bar setups. And this is exactly what has happened. We broke bull, lacked the momentum and follow through to maintain an upside break because we took so much time getting there. We used a lot of that effort in order to break the inside bar, set up a 2-minute trend change, and then dumped for the remainder of the day. Now at this point, I stopped watching it. I think it was too much good things were happening. We had a reversal, and what did we develop? Did we get ourselves a 5-minute downtrend for the remainder of the day? Indeed we did. And glancing back at my chart over here, I also want to point out something that was pointed out to me in the community was the development of a nice wedge. So let me go draw that. It was on the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, and I remember this one because I remarked at how effective this particular wedge was. So let's go and draw that out right now. So jumping to the 2-minute time frame, here is our wedge. We're going to grab the bottoms of our reds, tops of our greens. We see our lower highs coming into play. This itself can act as a 2-minute trend just like it did over here. And then we get our wedge support confirms for a third time. Then we get a bull break, and this is what I love. I love it when this works. To the penny, back test. Then we get into a tiny tightening range, big bull volume. Just beautiful. To finish off the day, we get ourselves continuation of the downside following that inside bar bear break, with bulls still sort of licking their wounds. Bears tired, bulls tired. The day finishes kind of quiet. Overall, dare I say, a magical day for technical analysis trading PLTR. Absolutely wonderful play to watch, wonderful to chart it. I have my original chart that we built over the course of the day. Over here, it's just a big mess at this point, but this is what we like to do in Chart Guys. And this video was made for members who just wanted a quick summary of what I was seeing. But I also want to show you guys on YouTube and anyone who's interested in learning technical analysis. There are a lot of rules, and there are a lot of setups and a lot of patterns and a lot of different kind of concepts that play into each other. And when you're aware of multiple angles and ways of interpreting the data, because that is what we're doing. We are interpreting the data that is presented to us visually. We can really benefit from this sort of fluctuation in the market. And when you have a name like PLTR, who's doing a 4% move in a phase 3 bull flag continuation, it can be life-changing. It can be life-changing to understand and utilize technical analysis. That's why we created Chart Guys. We want to be able to teach this stuff. If this video was useful for you, please consider checking out chartguys.com if you want to learn more about technical analysis. Happy to answer any questions you have. You can email me, support@chartguys.com. You can post a question in the comments here. We have a free course on introducing you to the concepts of technical analysis on chartguys.com. Check that out. It's free. Just plug in your email and away you go. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope it was useful and have a good day.